Hello everyone, I'm Mike DeAngelo with That's Entertainment, and this is your video review of Prince of Persia by Ubisoft Montreal. With the release of the Prince of Persia film, I thought that this would be the best time to bring up a review based on the game franchise. However, rather than reviewing the new game or the prior trilogy, I'm going to be exploring the 2008 title, which shares the most spirit and spunk as the new movie property. While the Sans trilogy features the most prominent similarities with the plot, the actions and relationships are more in tune with the standalone game in the series. Was the 2008 Prince of Persia a worthy investment in the franchise, or did it stray too far from its predecessors to really pop? The story in Prince of Persia begins fairly ambiguously. The two main characters don't really know each other, but commit to helping to save their world. Elika, a princess, has reserves of strange magic, while an unnamed protagonist who is only called the Prince is skilled in swordplay and acrobatics. While looking for his donkey, Farah, the prince inadvertently finds his way into drama revolving around Elika and her father. Trying to save a damsel in distress, he protects her from guards who are intent on capturing her, even when she doesn't want to be rescued. Then, the true cause of her plight is revealed. An evil god, Ahriman, has been awakened, and Elika must try to stop it with the aid of a benevolent god, Ormazd. The prince decides to aid Elika in her journey, fighting off the army of Ahriman, and attempting to keep him subdued beneath the Tree of Life. The main premise of the game is to utilize the prince and Elika's acrobatic and magical abilities to help them reach a collection of magical platforms called Fertile Grounds, which have the power to heal the land. Unfortunately, Ahriman's dark presence can be felt throughout the open world, and can be seen in the form of a black void that draws victims in like a poisonous sludge. Of course, there are more than just traps between the heroes and the Fertile Grounds. Some of Ahriman's most potent lieutenants, the Corrupted, lie in wait, ready to crush or choke the life out of the prince and Elika. Again, a mix of acrobatic combat and magic can help the protagonist to progress. Once the Fertile Ground has been awakened, a series of white orbs, called Light Seeds, must be collected to unlock a special ability for Elika to access. These abilities, granted by the power of Ormazd, gives the player the opportunity to reach new areas in the game that were previously unavailable. One of the biggest problems in the game is that you can't die. Instead, you're treated to the same identical hand-reaching segment time after time if you miss a jump, or are sucked into a wall or floor by the corruption. Because of this, there aren't really any risks that you'd opt not to take. Utilizing a nice mix of watercolor and cel shading, the prince and Elika look vibrant and stunning, whether they are in the vast reaches of darkness or the lush locales that have been restored to their former beauty. Surprisingly, the environments of the game manage to look their best in spite of the high quality of the heroes, the two working in perfect tandem with each other. Perhaps the best part of the game is the dialogue and the speech between the two main characters. The prince is voiced by Nolan North, of Uncharted fame, and Elika is voiced by Carrie Walgren, who has voiced plenty of other princesses, including Ashe from Final Fantasy XII and Cisna from White Knight Chronicles. The ease and familiarity with which these two actors play off each other makes for some very fun conversations, which really gives the game some character. The music is intrinsically one with the art direction of the game. It almost feels as if you couldn't have one without the other. The sound is quite realistic in that the game almost seems to underplay it, giving it natural ambiance instead of forcing it towards the player. Despite having a tremendous amount of backstory that can be explored through the conversations between the prince and Elika, not much of it can be physically seen. Players will have to be able to visualize things that are only touched on verbally. The game has over 1,000 light seeds to collect, but not all of them are necessary to complete the game. Beyond this, there's not very many reasons to continue playing the game once you're finished. There are some unlockables that you can earn, and there is extra content available for download, but it extends the game for less than 5 hours worth of time. Just like the movie, this game relies heavily on character interaction to push the plot forward, specifically between the prince and princess. If that doesn't seem like your kind of interest, Prince of Persia 2008 may not be for you. But if relentless parkour, witty dialogue, and keen observation have the opportunity to draw you in, the game might be right up your alley. That's Entertainment awards Prince of Persia a score of 8 out of 10.